Senator Shelby from Alabama, Republican, decided, you know what? So we got a weird, perverse system of choosing the regulators of the Federal Reserve regional banks. For those of you who don't know yet, the Federal Reserve on the national level actually has a board of governors that's a public institution, okay? But on the regional level, like the New York Fed, et cetera, those guys, well, they're not a public institution. Their members are actually selected by the banks that they're regulating. Now, if you're hired by the guys you're supposed to be regulating, how well do you think you're going to regulate them? My guess is, and call me crazy, you're not going to regulate them very well. For example, the guy who was the chair of the New York Fed was a guy by the name of Tim Geithner. And he only did a horrible job as the head of the New York Fed as the New York banks absolutely melted down. And he did not regulate them in the least bit while they were melting down, okay, before they melted down, et cetera, et cetera. So now here comes the funny part of the story. So Shelby wants to push ahead and say, hey, look, this is an obvious conflict of interest. We should change this, and you can't let the banks regulate themselves. And he's got some Democratic supporters, Jack Reed of Rhode Island, and people saying, oh, look at that, Shelby's being a reasonable guy. Yeah, let's have that conversation, right? He said he ran it by Tim Geithner, and Tim Geithner was cool to the idea, meaning like he didn't find it a very attractive idea. Really, I didn't see that coming. Now, let's go to the New York Fed where Geithner came from. You're going to love this part. So they have 9 guys who are supposed to regulate them, Class A, Class B, and Class C directors. The Class A directors are chosen by the banks that own the Fed. So they're simply bankers. Okay, so those are the guys that are supposed to represent the banks, and they're 1/3 of the regulators. That's absurd in and of itself right there. Okay, but don't worry, the Class B directors are supposed to represent the consumers. That's great. You know, out of those 3 seats, right now the New York Fed has not filled 2 of them. Represent the consumers. Yeah, we can live with that. But they have filled 1 of the seats. You know who has that seat to protect consumers? The CEO of General Electric. Come on. You think he's representing the consumers on the New York Fed board? It's a joke, right? So then we go to the Class C directors. These guys got to help us out, right? Who are these guys? Well, they're supposed to protect the public. Wow, that's even better than the consumers, the public, right? So but still the banks get to pick them. So they cherry pick out of organizations, and they apparently picked the president of the New York State AFL-CIO, labor guy. They picked him, so I'm a little dubious, but hey, at least he's a labor guy, right? So he might represent at least a different perspective. And then they picked Columbia University's president, Lee Bollinger. Now, if you got everybody to choose from, you're going to have a rough sense of who are the guys who are going to be friendly to you or not. I don't know where Lee Bollinger stands. But well, let's give him those 2, okay? You know who the 3rd person is representing the public? Stephen Friedman, former chairman of Goldman Sachs. No, he's in the position to represent the public. You know, well, he was. He had to step down. You know why? He took a position. He got the influence the New York Fed to take a certain position. At the same time, he put down a gigantic bet on Goldman Sachs, and he made a tremendous amount of money based on the decision that the Fed made while he was on their board regulating them. And he was the guy that's supposed to represent you and I, the public, on the New York Fed board. It's a goddamn joke. And the joke's on us. So, let me join my brother Richard Shelby here, Republican senator from Alabama, in saying, let's go get the sons of bitches. Okay? No, you can't have the banks regulating themselves. Obviously, what happened in 2008 with this economic meltdown, debacle, crisis is what's going to happen again if we have this kind of system. Okay, so if he can rally some Republicans, and they asked Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Republicans, and he said, yeah, I'm going to have to look into that and get back to you. But if he can at least grab a couple of Republicans and we can grab a couple of Democrats, maybe we could have real bipartisanship for the first time in a long time on this issue.